Hello, Chibari here. Today we're going to be playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Wrath of the Mutants. This is a new game that's available for all consoles, but is actually a ported version of the arcade game that came out in 2017 and was based off of the 2012 iteration of the Ninja Turtles. That was a great cartoon, a CG animated cartoon that, in my opinion, can be held to the same standard as the original late 80s, early 90s Ninja Turtles cartoon. Now, the arcade game was very fun at the time. I did enjoy it. It is, of course, not as good as the original late 80s or early 90s arcade games for the Ninja Turtles series, but it's still very fun. It's still, in its own regard, a good piece of nostalgia. And the fact that Ninja Turtle fans are continuing to win with respect to the Cowabunga collection, with respect to Shredder's Revenge, now with Wrath of the Mutants, the upcoming Mutants Unleashed, that's based off of the new streaming series that's going to be coming this summer. In addition to this coming July, is going to be the ported version of the previously exclusive Apple Arcade game Splintered Fate that is going to be available also on the Nintendo Switch for Ninja Turtle fans. This is just something, this new Wrath of the Mutants is just something that kind of builds up all the different video game entries that are helping to entertain us as Ninja Turtle fans. So again, I'm going to go into the game. I'm going to be playing this on the Arcade1Up setup, very much a way to experience the game in its original arcade format and see how it plays. So with that, let's go into it.
With the initial release of the game dating back to 2017, we're now a good 7 years separated from that initial release date, and there's been plenty of gameplay mechanics and different elements to freshen up the arcade beat 'em up environment. Now, there's been Double Dragon, there's been Streets of Rage 4, and there's been, of course, within the Ninja Turtle community, there has been Shredder's Revenge, all kind of adding in new gameplay and mechanics to elevate and evolve the arcade beat 'em up style gameplay. Now, this is not going to incorporate those elements. This is going to be the straight 2017 port, but it does include 3 new levels and 6 new boss fights. So it's going to be a taste of a new slice of pizza, but it's not going to give you the whole pie that you're hoping for. So it looks like there's about 6 stages in total, and the game plays very similarly to your original Ninja Turtle games. That being, you've got your basic strike attack, you've got your jump, and of course you can do different types of jump attacks with combine the two. And the whole thing is to get some interesting combos when you're taking out your enemies like the Foot Clan or the Krang. Now, some plenty of different harken back to the original Ninja Turtle games, like the aspect of being able to fall into a sewer grate or be electrocuted, or to get bitten by a mouse, or some of the same animations, or at least it's very stylistically similar to the Ninja Turtle and Turtles in Time games. There's plenty of power-ups you can pick up that pretty much eliminate all the enemies on the screen. Some of these act as character assists, like Leatherhead or even Ice Cream Kitty, that'll take out the enemies on the screen and be able to help you. You have a meter that builds up to a special move that again can clear out the enemies or do severe damage in a boss battle. The graphics themselves are very similar to what you'd expect with that 2017 arcade game. In terms of Nintendo Switch, it looks fine. Some of the levels like Dimension X look better and are less bland than some of the basic stages like the New York streets or the sewer. In terms of negatives, I can say that at least the loading times on the Nintendo Switch can be pretty atrocious for loading a level. You're looking at about 45 seconds to a minute to load up the stage. And considering this is supposed to be an arcade port, I expect an arcade experience. And the whole thing about arcade games is that they're supposed to be instantaneous. You shouldn't have to wait. And that's kind of a bummer with the Nintendo Switch version. But again, otherwise, being able to play this on the Arcade1Up, it is a good experience in being able to hear the button mashing and be able to use your standard bat type of control stick to move around your character. Having a lot of fun with it. Based on the limited amount of stages, it looks like it's going to be a very short run, about 40 to 45 minutes in total length. But in terms of being able to play this with friends, in terms of co-op, there is no online, there is no additional features at this time. You're going to get your basic in the living room type of experience, nothing more. It's going to be a quick afternoon, have a good time, maybe come back to it at a later date and play it again, but otherwise this is going to be just a blink and you miss it type of action experience. And if you're looking forward to that, that's fine. I think that this is probably going to be more of a budget title that you pick up on sale for 20 bucks or less. But it's a good time nonetheless. There are some sub bosses and main level bosses. Stuff like Bebop and Rocksteady are what you'd expect for this type of game. There are characters that are specific to the 2012 Ninja Turtles that some may not recognize if you haven't watched this version of the Ninja Turtles. It is cool to throw characters at the screen, and just not the Foot Clan themselves. The Krang, if you're beating up some of the droids that the Krang are housed in, once the brain kind of falls out, you can grab the brain and throw them at the screen, which is a pretty nice touch. Also, very similarly to the original Ninja Turtle arcade games, is that you can do your body slam where you grab your enemy and just kind of flip them back and forth, slamming them on the ground, which is pretty cool. All the voice actors of the series are accounted for here. Given that I believe this came out in 2017, you have Seth Green voicing Leonardo, who was the replacement for Jason Biggs, who was fired at the time from the series. So in terms of getting that complete energy, that complete look of the series, it's accounted for here. There are plenty of environmental threats and benefits that can help you out or hinder you. There's cars that drive and hit you in New York City and the amusement park. There's the actual amusement park rides that might hit you, and they're also used to clear out enemies. So each level has its own character and diversity. The enemies themselves continue to be diverse and changing up over the course of each level. So nothing is going to stay around for too long and outlength its welcome in this game. This is not going to have the same extensive gameplay as you might get out from Shredder's Revenge, or the completeness to be able to have plenty of gameplay options to keep on coming back to, like Cowabunga Collection. This is a quick ride. So for those looking for more than that, you're not going to get it. You're going to be disappointed, especially with no online play. I do not know if they'll add more beyond this, but it is a raw thrill, and it is a quick thrill, just like the original developer of the game. So with that, guys, that does it for me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and booyakasha!